కేరళకి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్కి ఏముంది తేడా, ఎందుకు కేరళ మోడల్ అని చెప్తూ ఉన్నామో దాని గురించి తెలుసుకునేటువంటిది కింద రేపు వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మనం సమావేశాలతో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అంశాలు మాట్లాడుకోవడానికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. కూర్చోవాలి మధ్యలో ప్లీజ్ రా. ఓకే
సోదరులారా, due to 3 reasons, I hope you will also pardon me if I don't make a very lengthy speech. I need to speak only very short. The 3 reasons are, first of all, critiquing the educational policies mostly advocated by the RSS-controlled, BJP-dominated central government led by Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. The criticism of their policies, corporatization, commercialization, communalization and centralization of education. Those aspects have already been covered by earlier speakers at length. Therefore, I need to only concentrate on how the state of Kerala has been trying to evolve an alternate democratic and scientific progressive democratic education policy in a state which is very difficult in a huge country where a different policy is being sought to be implemented from center. Developing and implementing an alternate policy is very difficult. That's why I say how Kerala is trying to implement that. There are 2 more reasons for me not to make a lengthy speech. One is language problem, because the comrade who spoke, Dr. Rajamanikam, he also had to speak in English. Your very beautiful Telugu language I am unable to comprehend. Only Sodaralara I know Telugu. That is the second reason. With the translation, one should not speak at length. Here without translation, most of you understand. My English is almost like Telugu English. Third reason is already 10 minutes past 1. It's lunch time. You have had enough food for thought. Now you have the thought of food, of lunch. So I should not punish you by compelling you to be here suffering hunger. Now let me therefore straight away get into the topic very briefly. Though mentioned here about centralization, an addition is equal. There has been a process of subverting the original idea of makers of Indian Constitution as to where the subject of education be included, whether in the central list or in the state list or in the concurrent list. The Constitution makers, after having debated deeply, then decided to include education in the state list. And it was an atrocity during emergency through the Constitution amendment brought in then that education was shifted from state list to the concurrent list. Now, when you look at the center-state relations, center-state political relation, center-state fiscal relation, center-state cultural relation, we are compelled to take note of the very, very dangerous situation that is emerging. There is no fiscal federalism. It is systematically tampered with. Now, one nation, one election is being introduced in Parliament without a majority to bring in constitution amendment. They are putting down the throat. Now one would shudder to think of a possible situation if in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, Narendra Modi and company, if they had managed a majority which they sought, which they campaigned, which they were thinking that they are getting, that is over 400 seats, they would have already implemented it. This one nation, one election is toward naked authoritarianism, centering the entire political process in this huge country around an individual and their authoritarian project. Now we have state election commissions to conduct local body elections. If they are able to implement that, all the state election commission will be subsumed under the central election commission. So Parliament to Panchayat elections will be conducted by the Central Election Commission, which under Narendra Modi has been reduced to a department of not central government, but now Central Election Commission is reduced as a department of BJP and RSS. That is the sad fact in our country. So the assault, the field of culture, the field of education should be viewed in the overall emerging situation in our country, political, fiscal and so on. Now, the state of Kerala has a tradition of trying to evolve something different while being within the country. While being part of India, the state of Kerala has been trying to evolve an alternate approach for a long period. It is not only after the first Kerala government, when the state of Kerala was formed after 1956, many states newly formed on November 1st, 1956. EMS, communist leader, he became chief minister after the first election held in 1956 December and 57 beginning. That government brought in education bill which contributed towards democratizing education. Then another initiative of 1957 communist government, one may not immediately understand that has something to do with education. That is land reforms, but it has relationship with education. When the landless agricultural laborers and peasants, they got a piece of land of their own, they had the confidence to send their children for education. They have a piece of land as an economic basis which gave them confidence and courage to send their children for education. So all this contributed towards the emergence of a more democratic education system. EMS government started making education free up to the 8th standard. Then 1967 EMS government made education free up to the 10th standard. Then Iyengali Even before the formation of the state of Kerala, the great reform leader, who is also with reverence called Mahatma Iyengali, he fought in Srimulam Praja Assembly, which was the people's representative structure during royalty. There he fought and got free education for backward communities. That who contributed towards that. Now fast forward, due to paucity of time, within another 5-10 minutes I will conclude. The experiments conducted in Kerala for improving the quality of education. Earlier references were made. The problem of dropouts, the achievements of states like Kerala, even Andhra Pradesh now almost those who joined for class 1, 99-100% reach up to 10th standard here. Kerala is number 1 in ensuring a continuous process of students not getting dropped out in between. But what is the quality of education is a very important thing. Now some people use this question of quality to conduct some difficult examination, and when you see 30, 40, 50% students are declared failure in their class, some people claim, oh, you ensure quality of education. That's an utterly unscientific approach. So far as ensuring quality of education is concerned, I want to mention very briefly about one experiment that we did in the state of Kerala during the 2006-2011 government led by V.S. Achuthanandan, when I happened to have some direct access to look after education department along with culture. In Kerala, declaring SSLC exam result is a high media sensitive exercise. So as the education minister, immediately after having taken oath of office, within a week's time, the SSLC exam result had to be declared in a big press conference. And education minister will not know the result. The secrecy is preserved. But the main trends would be explained to the minister before going for press conference to announce the result. Then the DPI, Director of Public Instruction, he is the one who would explain these things to the education minister. He said, the schools which gain 100% victory, the schools which gain maximum A+, all those were explained to me. I said, okay, we can explain all this. You only give me the fact sheet, I will read it out. That is what generally ministers do. I asked him, please tell me the schools where the results are miserable. The results are uncredit-worthy. Then he asked why? I said, no, I want to know that. Then he made an immediate survey and said that in over 100 schools, more than 70% students who appeared did not qualify for continuous education. There we don't say those who have passed or not passed. What we say is that those who have gained enough grade so that they can go for higher education. So over 100 schools. I requested him to prepare a list of those schools. Long and short, in the press conference, it was announced that as a whole the result is creditworthy, But the education department noted that there are some schools where the performance is not credit worthy. This government is going to focus in those schools, and we are going to implement a project where the inadequacies, after having studied, we will take steps to overcome those inadequacies. You can ask your teacher friends from Kerala. Finance Minister announced in the first budget itself. He announced as the new project is Education Minister's project. That no, please don't hand back. I told Finance Minister, no, it is wrong. It cannot be Education Minister. Of course, I initiated a discussion. This is known as 104 school project because there were 104 such schools. Then the most important thing for the credit of the teacher community is KSTA, Kerala School Teachers Association, the counterpart of UTF in Kerala. They said, we will also support this project, not only in 104 schools. There are other backward schools. We identify those schools and we will implement a quality improvement program in every school. We will consider each student, whether that student is educationally backward or forward. We will consider these students are our children and we are going to teach them. This is the project which made substantial change in the school education of Kerala. Now, I want to fulfill the promise that I am not going to speak at length. But I would mention 2 points briefly. You have discussed about the standard of government schools and all. There was some reference being made. The medium of instruction. Some people think, and the state of Kerala, we have many fuss, we have many creditable things. But there is a particular superstition prevalent among the middle class people of Kerala. That superstition among the middle class people of Kerala, this I speak in Kerala also. What is that superstition? English medium education is great. This is their, sorry to say this is their nonsensical understanding. I don't know about the middle class people of Andhra Pradesh. In many places, this is there. C.V. Raman, the scientist who got the first Nobel Prize for India, Science Nobel Prize, he had his studies in his mother tongue. He didn't have his studies, school education in English. I can speak about 2 brilliant scientists in the field of nanotechnology. Ajay Pulikan, he is teaching now a very famous university in United States, Rice University in California. He is one of the 10 outstanding nanotechnology scientists in the world. Ajay Pulikan, he studied in the government school of Trichy, Kodungalur. Chennai IIT is very nearby. There is a nanotechnology department in Chennai IIT which is of world standard. I had gone there. When I was looking after education, I visited some of these places too. Because an education minister should be a student first. Only then he can be an education minister. I went there. The head of the nanotechnology department of Chennai IIT, he is T. Pradeep. Recently he won a science award worth 2 crore rupees. He is a very, very outstanding nanotechnology scientist. He won Padma Shri also a couple of years ago. He is also a student of the government school, government arts college. He did his first research in Calicut Government University. I can dish out any number of instances where government school education, government college education help them to grow as world accepting scientists. We should also remember there are many scientists of world standard from France, from Germany, from Russia, from Spain, from Italy. They are all learning in their language, in German, in French, in Russian, in Japanese, in Spanish. They are not learning in English. This doesn't mean, immediately I would add, this doesn't mean that knowing English and learning English is not worthy. English is a very important language. But being medium of instruction and learning English as a language, these are two different things. Many people don't understand that. What should be the medium of instruction? From few questions you would know this very simply. In which language you should teach and what should learn? If teaching and learning, the consideration is in which language you can teach easily, in which language you can learn easily, that is mother tongue. Then it has to be in mother tongue. If you learn how to learn, then you can learn any language and any subject. So teaching has two aspects. Teaching students how to learn and teaching students the subject. Both these are very important. So pedagogy related research has established all these points without any doubt, but unfortunately in our country we still continue to debate similar issues. I would also like to finally say something that we have not succeeded in developing a holistic understanding about education. Secondly, the realization that every child, even if she or he would be poor in learning this subject or that subject, he or she would be having enormous capacity to learn certain other subjects. This is known as multiple intelligence. This has been established. Now, to make all of us realize this theory easily, S.P. Balasubramanian, great singer, you all know. Would anyone ask what is the education qualification of S.P. Balasubramanian? Did he graduate? I don't know. He might have. But that's not important. Singing well is a great faculty. Like that, there are various. You know Gugesh. Who is Gugesh? You know, chess player. When he became world champion, while writing, somebody would write, he has been studying for this, in this school he studied and all. You don't enquire Sachin Tendulkar, whether he graduated or not. K.J. Yesudas, Lata Mangeshkar, Lionel Messi, did anyone ask? It doesn't mean, I am not saying that everybody would become a Lionel Messi, S.P. Balasubramanian, Yesudas or such. No. In every child, certain faculties are there. The art and science of education is to correctly identify where this boy or girl has certain special abilities. So, unfortunately in our country today, education is not following a scientific approach. We have to fight for that. We have to fight for a scientific education. We have to fight against the wrong policies that the central government is trying to impose in the field of education. At the same time, we have to fight for detoxifying our society from communalism. That's a political struggle. We have to take up livelihood issues and fight for employment, fight against price rise. Various other issues are there. So the struggle has to go hand in hand, and the organization, you have traversed the 50 years. It's a very important moment. So I hope you will look back, identify your gains, identify your weaknesses as well, so that in the coming days we can go forward with less shortcomings and mistakes and greater gains. With these words, I conclude. I wish the organization and this conference a very success. Thank you very much for your